Non-vegetarian protein feels simple. Just eat eggs and chicken. But in reality, there's cost involved. There's different kinds of cuts, different protein like fish, chicken, mutton, beef, so on and so forth, and a lot of confusion. In this video, we are going to break down some of the common non-vegetarian protein options
and roughly the amount of protein that you get per serving. We'll also discuss the budget-friendly options versus weekend treat options. We'll be using Sydney prices, so think of these as a trend and not exact numbers. And as always, this is not medical advice, this is just for educational purposes only, so it helps you plan better. And as always, we have broken down this video into 3 broad categories. The first section is eggs and poultry.
Let's talk about eggs first. A normal egg has about 6 to 7 grams of protein. So if you consume 2 to 3 eggs every day, you would get about 12 to 18 grams of protein every single day, plus vitamin B12 and some healthy fats.
And cost-wise, eggs are one of the cheapest way you can get protein from a non-veg source. Also, eggs are very versatile. You can use them for breakfast, you can make gravies, you can make burji, you can make all sorts of things with eggs. Also, you don't have to throw away your yolks unless your doctor advises you to.
And the next protein in this category is chicken drumstick and thighs. Let's talk about chicken thighs and drumsticks with bone. In 100 grams of chicken thighs or drumsticks, you would roughly get about 25 grams of protein approximately. So if you're consuming an average portion, let's say 2 medium to large size pieces of this chicken, you would get about 25 grams of protein in your diet.
Cost wise, if you are going to buy them in like bulk, per kilo works out to be cheaper. Also, these cuts of meat have a lot of fat in them, and hence the gravies turn out to be really yum. With drumsticks, you can also make like chicken tandoori or tikka types wherein you don't add extra oil or any fat like that.
The only tip is eat less of the gravy and more of the meat. The next section is chicken breast. Chicken breast is your gym hero. About 100 grams of cooked chicken breast has about 30 grams of protein. So if you consume an average portion, let's say 100 to 150 grams of chicken breast, you can get about 30 to 45 grams of protein per meal.
Cost wise, this is not as cheap as your other curry cuts like chicken thighs or Maryland or drumsticks. Also, taste wise, it doesn't taste as yum because there is no fat in it. So you have to be cautious that you don't overcook it. If you overcook it, it's going to turn out rubbery. What I do is, this could be a tip, what I do is I mix a serving of thighs and one breast and just mix it and make like a tandoori marinade and throw it in the air fryer. That way the fat from the thighs and breast just cooks together and it's still yum. So this is something you could also follow. But yes, cost wise, this is expensive than thighs, but you get what you pay for. There's a lot more protein in this. Doesn't taste that yum.
The next one is chicken mince. Chicken mince is your convenience protein. So in 100 grams of cooked chicken mince, you get about 25 grams of protein approximately.
Cost wise, this can be anywhere between your breast cuts and the thigh cuts. The plus side to it is its versatility. Let's say you're cooking something in bulk. You can always toss in the mince in it and you can make fried rices, you can make burji style, you can make lots of things with chicken mince. So you're paying a little bit premium for the pre-minced version of a chicken. Usually chicken mince, the meat itself is more thigh or drumsticks than the breast variant. So that's what they would mince it and make into a chicken mince packet.
The last one in the poultry list is turkey. If you are in Australia, US or Europe, turkey mince or turkey breast is readily available. And it acts pretty similar to chicken breast in the sense you get about 28 to 29 grams of protein per 100 grams of cooked turkey.
Cost wise, it's similar to chicken mince as well. It sits around that or slightly higher. Taste wise, it's once again similar to chicken breast. So there's not a lot of fat in it. It is very lean. I'll be honest, I don't buy turkey breast or turkey mince as often. The limited times I've bought it with the fat version of it, and that has been good with pastas. But the leaner version, I didn't have a taste for it. Maybe I don't know to cook properly. If you know nicer recipes or the way we could incorporate turkey, please let us know in the comments below. We'll move on to the next section.
The next section is seafood. Seafood is where choices and prices change the most by the city that you live in. So in this video, we're going to keep it very simple and talk you through a few useful buckets. The first one is small and oily fishes. Small and oily fishes include fishes like sardines and mackerel. And in these fishes, we get about 20 to 22 grams of protein in 100 grams of cooked fish, plus omega 3 fatty acids, vitamin D, and some minerals.
The price point for these small fishes are not a lot. It could be in par with, let's say, chicken, but the amount of micronutrients that you get in these fishes are amazing. That's why we love our seafood. So if you're someone who enjoys eating some seafood, having at least 2 or 3 meals per week with some of these small oily fishes can add a lot up to the nutrition.
The next section is white fishes like barramundi and snapper. These fishes are usually good for fries and curries. 100 grams of cooked fish has about 20 to 26 grams of protein depending on the kind of fish you buy. They are not very high in fats and they are also not very fishy tasting.
In terms of price point, they are definitely expensive than the previous bucket that we spoke about, like sardines. It's also a little bit more expensive than chicken as well. There are many different kinds of white fishes. We have just highlighted barramundi and snapper only because we try and consume that a bit more compared to, let's say, basa, cod, tilapia, and all those things. So we try to have barramundi and snapper, and that's also easily available in Australia. Once again, if you're someone who eats seafood a bit often, then this can be your regular weekday protein as well.
The next one is salmon. Salmon is the Instagram fish. About 100 grams of cooked salmon contains 22 to 24 grams of protein, plus a lot of omega 3 fatty acids. Nutrition is great, but the price is not.
So, cost wise, this is definitely higher than everything we have spoken about so far. We tend to buy wild caught salmon from Costco. They come in like 8 vacuum packed fillet, and each piece costs us about, let's say, $8 to $9. The packet is almost like $54 to $60. I can't even remember how much it is anymore, but yes, each piece, it's really expensive. Each piece gives us about 34 to 38 grams of protein. So if you're on a budget, small oily fish can do the job. If you're not and you're open for treats, then definitely have salmon as an option. I treat seafood as more of that micronutrient profile than protein or macronutrient profile. Also, salmon tastes super yum with some veggies on the side.
The next one is pomfret, kingfish, and prawns. For my Indian side of the audience, pomfret and kingfish are very popular and they are pretty similar in terms of their nutritional profile as well with the other fishes. About 100 grams of cooked fish contains 20 to 22 grams of protein, and for prawns, they contain about 22 to 24 grams of protein per 100 grams of cooked prawn.
Price wise, pomfret and kingfish are more in like barramundi ranges, or sometimes even more, at least in Sydney. For prawns, again, they are on the expensive range. But once again, seafood is more for that micronutrients and the overall nutrient profile, not just for protein. So we treat kingfish and pomfret more like weekend treats, whereas prawns a bit more often, like in like noodles or fried rice or even our pizzas. We like to have prawns in it. Even though it works out to be slightly expensive, it's just the two of us and it fits our budget. The good side about prawns is it cooks really fast.
I think what it takes about 5 minutes to cook prawns.
Yeah, flash fry in butter and then add some noodles or pasta and then you're done almost. So, yeah.
The next section is red meat and organ meats. Here we are going to talk about mutton first. For many Indian families, mutton is a non-vegetarian royalty. In India, mutton means goat, but here in Australia, mutton mostly means lamb. Both of them have a very similar nutritional profile in that the protein content is about 25 to 27 grams per 100 grams of cooked mutton. They also contain a bit of iron and vitamin B12.
Price wise, they are definitely expensive than chicken, more in part with some of the seafood that we saw earlier. I also treat mutton as a micronutrient rich protein source than more of a protein rich protein source. In terms of how we use it, we use to make curries. So I've got like Saurashtra recipes for this. So I use it to make curries, and sometimes we also have biryanis with mutton or goat or lamb. Also, we don't mind if it's a goat or lamb as long as it's yummy. We just eat it.
That's all.
That's all. Yeah.
The next section is chicken liver and organ meats.
Organ meats are interesting, right? In Australia, chicken liver are not that expensive. The only problem is getting access to it. You don't find them as often in like normal supermarkets. These days, you can spot them in supermarkets. I'm not saying that you don't find at all. You do find them, but they are like a specialty meat variety. If you go to specific butcher shops or Asian grocers, you can find organ meats. Cost of per 10-gram protein is not that excessive. The problem is the access to it. So you can't find it as much. Also, not a lot of the people are fan of the flavor of these organ meats like liver, neck. There's many organ meats you can get. So not a lot of people are fan of it. If you already enjoy this flavor, having organ meats or liver just once a week or even once a fortnight is a good nutrient add-on.
We have now come to the end of this video where we are going to put all of this together and try to make sense of things. So on a daily basis, let's say for example, you consume 2 eggs every day. That gives you about 12 to 14 grams of protein. And if you rotate between meats, let's take for example, you consume about 100 grams of chicken. Doesn't matter the kind of chicken. We're going to take an average here, which is 25 grams. You get about 25 grams of protein from that meal alone. So this adds up to 37 grams of protein just from the two protein sources that we talked about. And before we go any further, I also want you to check out our vegetarian protein meal options that I'm going to link somewhere here. And in that video, we've talked about how we can achieve about 40 to 50 grams of protein easily from what we have in our household. Adding 1 and 2, we're going to get about 75 to 85 grams of protein easy. So if you're someone who's less than, let's say, 75 to 85 kilograms, this easily helps you achieve your daily protein intake. And this is really important for us. If you're someone who's also trying to improve your muscle mass, you can increase the quantity of eggs or increase the quantity of meat and easily achieve that protein intake that you're looking for.
The takeaway from this video, or what we want you to take away, is to be mindful of what you're consuming. Look at your plate, see if there's enough protein in it, and look at your meals per week or at different intervals. Look at your meals at different intervals. For example, a day or per week. Per day, did I have at least one protein heavy meal? Having protein in all 3 meals, it's amazing. But if you can't do that, at least have 1 or 2. Similarly, if there are, let's say, 21 meals you have per week, have at least about 15 or so that are protein heavy, and that's it. That's enough. If at least one of you starts thinking this way after watching this video, that is going to be a win for us. I hope you enjoyed this content. We'll see you in another one.
Bye.